I've worked with hundreds of women who are either navigating divorce or considering divorce. This is something I have done for years, and I love it. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but I love empowering women to either stay in their relationship or to leave. And this is the number one thing women are most afraid of in leaving their relationship, and that keeps them staying in something that doesn't feel good for them. I'm Jessica Frew. I am a wife, ex-wife, mom, stepmom, and I am most importantly a bold action taker. I believe in making decisions and acting on those decisions that are best for me, and I empower and build confidence in women so that you can do the same. And that is the work that I do. I am a decision-making coach to help you understand what your next best decision is. Now, like I said, 99% of the decisions that I help women make involve their relationship, whether it is dating or their marriage or any of these things, maybe as a relationship with somebody at work, not necessarily a romantic relationship or a friendship. I help people work through relationships. And most of those are marital relationships where they're trying to decide, do I stay? Do I go? What do I do in this situation? What does it mean if I go? How does that work? Like all of these things that come up. And the number one fear that keeps women in relationships is not the financial end of it, although that is probably the second biggest one that keeps women stuck, but it is the fear of being alone. We are so afraid of being alone, and we have been conditioned to believe that our life is only complete unless we have another individual in it. Unless we are in service to somebody else 24/7, then we do not have a meaningful, purposeful life, and we will not have peak happiness. We will not be able to accomplish all of the joy and happiness we were created to have in this life. Then I call bullshit on that. I firmly believe that you can have a very fulfilling, beautiful life and not be in a relationship with somebody else. Now, if that is what you want, great. That is beautiful and great, and I love that for you. But don't stay in a relationship that isn't serving you because you are afraid of being alone. Because we can create a life where you feel really great and awesome on your own and create the space you need to welcome in the next person that is best for you. And I think we also have this idea that marriage is 100% of the time supposed to last a lifetime, and we celebrate people who have reached 50, 60, 70 years of marriage. 70 years, yeah, I mean, that people do it. I was like, is that too long? No, people do that. And it's amazing and beautiful. And also, that is not meant for everybody. We are not all here to just have one relationship that lasts forever. I mean, we evolve and develop as humans every 7 to 10 years. We shift our beliefs and who we are, and physically we shift and change, and maybe we aren't meant to be with the same person for the rest of our lives. Maybe you are meant to experience more than one person, but this conditioning is deep, and it keeps us small, and it keeps us in a space where often we don't feel comfortable. Now, if you want to stay in a relationship, I can help you do that as well. But the thing, this fear of being alone, don't let this be the reason that you stay in anything. Because if you are afraid of feeling alone after your relationship, I challenge you to think about the relationship you are currently in. Do you feel alone in that relationship now? Do you really feel like you have a partner that supports you and loves you and sees you and is cheering you on and is grateful for the work that you do? Do you have a partner that desires you, that wants to have sex with you, that wants to be close and intimate with you in all of the ways? And if you can answer yes to those things, like, yeah, I do, then that is great and amazing. And if you are feeling like maybe you still want to leave, let's talk about it and figure out how you can stay if you want to stay. But if you are like, man, I do still feel alone, I still feel unseen, I still feel unheard, I don't feel appreciated, I don't feel like this person desires me and wants to connect with me emotionally and physically, then maybe it is time to explore what it could feel like to no longer have this person in your life. You can feel less alone when you are on your own than you do with somebody else in the house that you're not connected to. And I would dare say that if you are living in a house where you don't feel connected to the other person, that depth of loneliness is deep. And I know because I've been there. And I help women on the daily work through that. That level of feeling unseen and unappreciated and undesired is deep. And I felt this in a couple different ways in a couple different of my relationships. In my first marriage, things were good. I had a really good relationship with him. And also he was gay and struggled with being able to connect with me in some ways because he was deeply disconnected to himself. Now, we had a really good sex life, so that wasn't really the issue. People always want to know about that. We were having regular sex and it was good. It was deeply connective because we were so emotionally connected because I was the only person in the world that knew he was gay. And so we had a very deep connection, this emotional connection that fed into our sexual connection. But there came a point when he had an affair with a man. And at that point, he no longer was attracted to me. He didn't desire to be with me. He felt a lot of guilt about being with me. And I really struggled with this idea that I didn't want to be in a relationship with somebody who didn't want me sexually. Like, I had convinced myself that I should be able, I'm the type of person that can tolerate that can power through. I powered through 6.5 years of him being gay and not talking to anybody about that, but holding that on my own. Surely I can deal with this next phase of him not being attracted to me. Like, what's one more thing? This isn't a reason to get divorced. This is a reason to stay. We have a 2-year-old daughter. I am strong enough for this. I was built for this. And you know what? I honestly believe I was. But I wasn't built to stay. I was built to give us both freedom to go choose something different. And I did feel incredibly alone at that point in our relationship, even though I had this man that still loved and supported me and still I could talk to and connect with. I still felt alone. And I remember that freedom I felt when I left and I moved into an old house that we owned with our 2-year-old daughter that was across the country from this man I was divorcing. Just a whole nother story of why I was there. But I just remember being in that house and feeling safe and not alone. Because I didn't have this other person in the house. It was constantly reminding me how alone I felt in my relationship. And this happened again when I entered my second marriage. Like, I very much gave up who I was and felt alone. I felt unseen. I felt unsupported. I felt like I was giving so much and getting nothing in return. And so I left that marriage too. I eventually went back. Well, it didn't take me very long to go back, but I went back structuring my life the same way I would have if I had left, because I knew that I needed to be seen by myself. And when I was seen by myself, I didn't feel alone anymore. I felt seen. I felt supported because I was showing up for myself. Now, I knew I wasn't going to stay in a relationship where my partner didn't come back and match some of that energy, where he didn't come along for the ride at some point, but he did. Because he saw my comfort and peace and safety, and it actually brought him back into our relationship, and we ended up being able to be deeply connected because I chose myself, because I showed up for myself, and therefore he felt at peace and comfortable and confident enough to show up for himself as well. Don't stay in a relationship where you feel alone because you are afraid to be alone. Like so many of us, if you are walking on eggshells, if you don't want to go home at night, if you are like dreading pulling up to your house and you're just like, I can't do this. I don't want to carry the emotional weight of every moment having to navigate somebody else's emotions, having to put on this front that I am strong, because you are strong, but like there's a front that we put on that is a fake strength. And we wear that as a badge of honor. And I am so damn sick of watching women do that. Do any of you watch, do you watch Emily in Paris? There's, in like this last season that just came out, there's a moment with her and her friend, and I can't remember her friend's name for the life of me at this moment. But Emily is pissed and she's angry and I'm fine. She keeps saying, I'm fine. Every time her friend asks, I'm fine. I'm fine. And her friend says, man, that smile really looks like it hurts. And that's what I see in so many women. They tell me I'm fine. I've got this. I can power through another few years. And that smile, the reality that I see behind that, because I, as someone who has carried that smile, it breaks my heart. And I want you to know that if you feel that fake smile, if you feel it in your relationship, if you feel you have to put that on with your friends, if you feel you have to put that on with your kids, you don't have to live that way. That is loneliness. That is what loneliness feels like. When you get yourself out of this situation, you might feel lonely at times, but if you are getting in touch with who you are and who you truly were created to be without this other presence looming over you, you get to feel less lonely than you do now. And I want you to really think about that. Brene Brown talks about like self-abandonment and how true connection and wholehearted living only comes when we are true and clear and honest about who we are. And if we are living in a home or a situation or in a relationship where we don't feel like we can fully show up as ourselves, as our whole human being, whether that is emotionally, physically, sexually, like physically, like anything, then you are missing out. And that relationship of being able to show up fully as yourself starts with you. You have probably been conditioned to believe that it is not safe to be you. It is not safe to be fully you. You are too much. You are too loud. You're too shy. You are too colorful. You're too black and white. You're too whatever. Whatever the world has convinced you that you are too much of. If you aren't showing up fully as yourself because of a relationship, you're missing out on that. And my guess is that in your own relationship with yourself, you are not showing up fully as yourself because it's been conditioned out of you. And repairing your relationship, whether you stay or repairing your relationship with yourself after you leave and creating space to welcome in a new, healthy, beautiful, healing relationship comes from you healing that aloneness with yourself. Wholehearted living doesn't come from trying to be accepted by somebody else. It comes from self-acceptance. It is like one of the key teachings of Brene Brown, who I freaking love and adore and hope someday I'm going to meet. But that is what she teaches. And it is so true in every aspect of your life, in your relationships, in everything, in your parenting, in your work, in your relationship with your dog, in your relationship with your friends. If you are not showing up fully as yourself, if you are afraid to be seen as you are always going to feel lonely. It doesn't matter if you stay in that relationship or not. But if you stay and you never are fully yourself, you are going to be more lonely than you would be if you took this leap and found out who you are. Now, if you were like, I don't know if I'm shrinking myself. I don't know that I'm like hiding who I am. I don't know, any of these things. I don't think that's me, Jessica. I would encourage you to take a brave step. Go take my Should Score quiz. It will take you less than 5 minutes. And it's like those magazines you used to do when you were younger. And it is going to show you the areas where you are not showing up of yourself. And it's going to show you how much you are allowing other people to determine how you show up. It's called a Should Score quiz because you are doing what you should. You are living into what you should. You are dressing like you should. You are performing as a mom, as a wife, as an employee, as a founder of a business, as all of these things as you should, instead of who you truly desire to be. So go take that. You can do that. There's a link down below, or you can go to heyjessicafrew.com/quiz to try that out. It's free. It'll take you less than 5 minutes. And it's going to give you that information you know. So know, is my loneliness partially coming from the fact that, first of all, I'm in a relationship where I don't feel seen and supported? And also, is it coming from a place where I am not allowing myself, like I am living into this idea that I need to be smaller to fit into this? And if you are going to continue to feel small and disconnected from your relationship and alone, whether you stay in the relationship or leave. You can connect back to yourself while staying in the relationship and see where that goes. Because you are either going to start feeling empowered and good and connected to your spouse and partner as you do that. And they're going to be like, whoa, I love this person. Like, I am attracted to this confident, self-assured version of you. Or they are going to be put off and it is going to push them further away. And that is the moment you know this relationship is not for me. Because I still feel alone in this relationship. And you can leave and find you might have moments of loneliness, but you're not going to feel the depth of alone you are feeling in this relationship. And I hope that hits for you, that you can kind of grasp how this works and understand what this feels like for you. Now, one thing that keeps popping into my head that I always think about when I talk about this is, have you seen the movie Sing? If you've seen that, first of all, if you haven't, go watch it. It's super cute and fun. You can watch it with your kids. It's animated, cute video. But in Sing, there is this mom pig, and she goes out and is trying out for this audition. She's going to go sing, and she's breaking out of who she is. And in this process, she's doing this because she feels so unseen at home. And there is this scene in this movie where she sets up all of these automations, like things to wash the dishes and pack the kids' lunches and to go through her morning routine so that her family won't notice that she's not there. And it's sickening because in that, her family doesn't notice that she's not there. They go through the motions and they have this whole morning routine of it being automated and done by somebody else, and they all leave, bye mom, bye mom, bye mom. Her husband leaves the house, and none of them ever realize that she's not there. That is loneliness. That is deep loneliness. And my friend, I'm going to say something that sounds kind of harsh because sometimes the truth hits a little hard. You sitting in that, you are allowing yourself to go unseen, to go unappreciated, because somewhere in your brain you have decided that is your level of worth. That is all you deserve. And that there's nothing better. And that this is just motherhood. This is just a relationship. And it's bullshit. You deserve to feel seen. You deserve to not feel lonely anymore. You deserve to be appreciated and seen and loved. And if you want that, and once you acknowledge that you are part of this, that you have put yourself in this position, that you have allowed this, the beauty of that is that you now have the power to take yourself out of that. You now have the power to be able to move forward and do what is best for you as you move through that situation. And if you want that, if you want an easy, low, like not scary place to start, an affordable place to start, I encourage you to head below and pick up my book or go to shoveyourshoulds.com/free book. Yes, it is free. You just pay shipping and handling. You cover that, and I will send you that book for free because I want to get it in your hands. I want you to feel seen. I want you to not feel alone. And if in this relationship you are in or the situation you are in, you feel alone, I want you to figure out how to create something for yourself in that relationship where you no longer feel alone, or you develop the confidence and power and strength and courage to leave and recognize that you are going to feel less alone on the other side of this than you do now. And if you are telling yourself, but financially I can't leave, like there's no way I can do this, my friend, there is always a way. And staying in this relationship is not only costing you this loneliness, this feeling of safety and security and all the things you're wanting, connection to yourself, connection to your kids, it is also costing you money. And the longer you stay, the higher that bill gets. And if you want to find out how much it's costing you, you can go take my indecision cost calculator that, again, will take you 5 minutes or less to take and realize how much money it's costing you to stay. You can go there. It's in the link, or it's down below as well. You can find that link, or you can go to theboldlogic.com/indecision, and you can take that there. And it is going to tell you how much your indecision is costing you. My friend, you get to be seen. You get to be loved. You get to be supported. And that doesn't mean you need to be seen the way I am seen and show up talking to thousands of people or sharing your life on the internet or any of those things. It means you get to do it in a way that feels safe and good and empowering and like peace and calm and like a cozy blanket. And whatever that means and feels like to you, you get to have that. You have the power to get yourself out of this situation because you got yourself into this situation, whether you want to own that or not. Own it, because that's where the power kicks in. That's where you're like, hell yes, I can do this. I am deserving. I am capable. But you have to be the one to make the decision. You have to start somewhere. Take one of the quizzes. Go get my free book. Get on a call with me. I don't know. Do whatever it is that feels like the next doable step for you to be able to move forward. And I just said, I don't know. I do know those things will get you moving forward, because I wouldn't put something out there that wasn't going to help you start moving forward. We gain confidence one step at a time. And you can gain confidence in yourself by taking one action today. I love you. You are deserving. I want you to step into a place in your life where you no longer feel lonely, and you do feel confident, and you do feel safe, because the world is better when you do that. And I want to see what you do, and I want to be there cheering you on. Let's do it together.